Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's Daf, Nazir Daf Memhei. We are holding right at the Mishnah, which is 13 lines from the top of the Amud. Says the Mishnah, Teglachas hataharo ketzad. Nazir was successful. He's done his 30 days. He's about to conclude his process by bringing karbones and shaving his hair. How does he go about this process? Now, we refer to it as teglachas tahara, as opposed to teglachas hatuma. You see, in this case, he was successful. He avoided tuma, etc. That is teglachas tahara, the proper, the standard teglachas, as opposed to a Nazir became tummy. So he has to go through a different process, referred to as teglachas hatuma, which we actually discussed yesterday. Okay, so teglachas hatahara is in contrast to teglachas tuma. So how does he go about concluding his successful nazirus? Ketzad. He would bring 3 behemoths, 3 karbones. We have a chatas, an oila, and a shlamim. V'shechat is a shlamim, and after he does shchita on the shlamim, then he cuts his hair. He does giluach. After the shlamim is brought, some say after shchita, some say after zurikas hadam. In any case, the hair cutting corresponds to the shlamim. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. That's Rabbi Yehuda's shita. He's going to learn it from a pasuk in the Gemara. Rav Lazar Omer, no. Lo yayim galech al chatas. You should know actually the first carbon would be the chatas, and therefore the giluach also corresponds to the chatas. Shachatas kedemes b'chal mokem. The Gemara elsewhere learns that when a person brings a couple of karbonis, one of which is a chatas comes first here as well. Chatas, oilam, shlamim, which one comes first? The chatas. After which he does his giluach. But of course, this is only a preference, l'chatchila. According to all shittos, v'im gilach al achas mishloshtan, if he cut his hair next to any one of the karbonis, yatsa, he's okay. So according to Tanakam, l'chatchila, it should take place with the carbon shlamim. According to Rabbi Yehuda, with the carbon chatas. According to all shittos, whatever he did is okay. Rabban Shimon Gamliel Omer, another chiddush. Hevi gimel behemoths. V'le pirish. A Nazir brings 3 behemoths to the Beis Hamikdash without specifying, which of course is preferable. Chatchili is meant to specify. You meant to label him. This is the chatas, this is the oila, this is the shlamim. But suppose he left it unlabeled. What does the kohen do with them? Haru'il l'chatas tikorev chatas. The kivsa, the female sheep which is fit for the chatas, is brought as a chatas. Lo'ila, the male, sheep, which is appropriate for the oila, tikorev oila. In fact, that is brought as an oila. The assumption is, it's assumed, this is what it was meant for. And likewise, l'shlamim, the carbon, which is more appropriate for the shlamim, the ayil, the ram, tikorev shlamim, in fact, will be brought as a shlamim. So the Mishnah began with the halacha that teglachas takes place together with the carbon shlamim. How do we know that? Tana Rabban. V'gilach hanazir pesach oil moed. So literally speaking, the pasuk seems to tell us location. Where does he shave his hair? At the entranceway to the Beis Hamikdash. However, the Gemara learns it a bit differently. Pesach oil moed is a reference to a certain carbon that he brings, the shlamim, which is referred to with this language elsewhere, and his haircut matches up with this carbon. B'shlamim hakasav medaber. The pasuk is telling you to shave together with the carbon shlamim. Shenemar, as we find that the term Pesach Oyel Moed is specific to a carbon shlamim. Shenemar v'shachtoi. Pesach Oyel Moed, it's referring to a carbon shlamim. Bring the shlamim of Pesach Oyel Moed. And here, when the Torah tells you, do the giluach Pesach Oyel Moed, it isn't necessarily a reference to location where to do it, rather in tandem with the carbon shlamim, which has this lashon related to it, associated with it. You're maintaining this approach, Giluach takes place with the Korban Shlamim. Perhaps it means literally do the Giluach at the entranceway to the Beis Hamikdash. You can't do that. You can't suggest. It's not respectful. Amrit, the response is, Imkain, if that would be the case, that's disrespectful. It cannot be that the Torah is requiring a haircut at the Pesach Oil Moed. Rather, it means together with the Korban Shlamim. Rabbi Yehuda Kessler, I have another source for this interpretation. Look, the Torah tells us elsewhere, be careful. Act with respect to even the Mizbeach. Don't travel up to the Mizbeach by way of steps, because the separation of one's feet is undignified, and we learn a Kavachaymer. If even walking in this manner is inappropriate in the Beis Hamikdash, certainly shaving one's hair in this location would not be appropriate, and certainly the pasuk is not suggesting as such. Now there's a parenthesis which actually doesn't really belong in the Gemara. It's some addition based on a medrash. We can read through it. Nusach Acher. There was a slightly another version of this drasha, which is actually a medrash. Very interesting. We have a medrash right in the Gemara, but medrash Parshas Nazir. Begilach Nazir, Rabbi Yehuda Kessler, B'Shlamim HaKosher Medaber. Pasuk is telling you to do the Giluach in tandem with the Korban Shlamim. Perhaps it just means do it al Pesach or Moed, literally at the entranceway to the Beis Hamikdash. We can't say that. We find Torah warns against trekking up steps. Certainly we can deduce from there shaving in this location is not appropriate. Rather, the pasuk is telling you to do it together with the shlamim. Okay, basically a repetition, but presented slightly differently with other wording. Rabbi Yitzchak Omer, I have another source for this idea that Giluach takes place together with the Hakrava of the Korban Shlamim. Einei tzarich. We don't need that drasha. I have another way of proving it. How are you, Omer? Look at the pasuk. Pasuk says, "V'lokach es sa'ar reish nizrei, v'nasan aleish." So he takes his hair, which he had shaved, and he puts it atop the fire, throws it into the fire, which is burning beneath the pot cooking the basar of the shlam. So pasuk tells you to take the hair and put it into the fire. Right? A 1-2 step system. Indicating that it's a 1-2 step process. It only needs to be taken and put into the fire. As opposed to this situation, meaning if indeed it is a requirement to shave specifically at the Pesach El Moed, which isn't necessarily where the shlamim is being cooked, it could be cooked anywhere in the city. So in that case, after shaving at the Pesach El Moed, if he needs to do that, he would have to go through another step. He would have to deliver the hair over to the basar shlamim, over to the fire cooking beneath the pot, burning beneath the pot that's cooking the basar shlamim. That's another step in the process, and Torah is not indicating as such. It's a 2-step process, not a 3-step process: shaving, transportation, and inserting to the fire. So that proves to us that in fact there is no specific location required for that shave. Yotzes, as opposed to this theoretical scenario, which would require 3 steps: likicha, first hair removal; hava, transportation; unasinan, then putting it to the fire. So evidently that's not what the pasuk means. Shave wherever you want and put it right into the fire. There's another slightly different version of Rabbi Yitzchak Omer B'Shlamim HaKosher Medaber. The pasuk which tells you to do Giluach Pesach El Moed is just telling you to do it together with the Korban Shlamim. Ata Omer B'Shlamim HaKosher Medaber. You're suggesting as such, or perhaps it means literally Ela Pesach El Moed Mamish, to take his shave right at the Pesach El Moed. Talmud Loimar, the pasuk tells you, "V'lokach es sa'ar reish nizrei." Take his hair and throw it into the fire of the shlamim, which indicates it's right near the shlamim, not at the Pesach El Moed. Mokem shayim mevasha, where he's cooking, shamayim galech, that's where he would shave. Apparently, it's not restricting him to the Pesach El Moed. Okay, so according to these shittas, we have Tanakama, Rabbi Yitzchak, Rabbi Yeshua. We have all different types of sources that in fact his haircut is not specific to the Pesach Oil Moed. I have another drasha from this pasuk. He's meant to shave Pesach Oil Moed. That teaches us Kol Zman Shein Pesach Oil Moed Pesuach. It needs to be an open doorway, meaning this is a halacha that we know by karbanos. You can't bring a korban unless the Pesach Oil Moed is open. Likewise by Giluach, it's not a matter of location; it's a matter of the door being open. So when the Pesach Oil Moed was Pesuach, he can go shave wherever he is. But if it's still closed up, he has to wait until it's open. So that's a new halacha, a pre-condition for Giluach Nazir. Rabbi Shimon Shazuri Eimer, the Giluach Nazir Pesach Oil Moed teaches us that it's only something applicable to a Nazir. So bottom line is, according to Rabbi Shimon Shazuri, the pasuk says, "B'megaleach Pesach Oil Moed," it means literally, his geluach takes place at the Pesach Oil Moed, and the pasuk is telling you only a Nazir. We know that a woman could also become a Nazira. Pasuk clearly says so, right? Isha can become a Nazir, but the pasuk here is telling you that this specific experience of the Gilach HaNazir Pesach Oil Moed, shaving at the entranceway to the Oil Moed, applies only to a man, v'lo Nazir, not to a woman, and the reason is it's not appropriate. It could evoke illicit feelings and provoke the young Kehanim standing there to act inappropriately. Shemi Yizgoru B'Pirchei Kehuna, the young Kehanim might be attracted to her in an inappropriate manner, and therefore she does not go through this procedure in public. Amrullah, the Chachamim responded to him, Lidvarecha, according to your concern, well, what about Saita, an Isha who's straight from her husband? That can prove otherwise. We're not concerned about inappropriateness. Tichsibba, we have a pasuk, we have midal fnei Hashem. We uncover her hair and we place her fnei Hashem in public. There's no concern there. Shem is garab pirchei kehuna about the kehanim starting up with her. Why is this different? Why would the concern apply here and not there? Amrlan, he says a very clear difference. Zu, a Nazira, she styles her hair, she paints, she applies makeup, she presents herself in a more dignified manner, and therefore there's a concern of lack of tznius, as opposed to the Saita, who's totally disheveled, as we learn in the Masechah Saita there. Zu eino kechelos bekeses. So in her disheveled state, there's no concern of attracting an inappropriateness. So bottom line is, a Nazir Torah will execute Tiglachas at the time of his karbanis, either together with the Shlamim, according to many Shittas, or together with the Chatas, according to Rabbi Elazar. In terms of location, many Tanaim hold there is no specific location, although we do know that there was a Lishkas HaNazir, a special chamber in the Azara where they would, in fact, there's a Snashim where, or in fact, that's where they would do the hair cutting, but it wasn't a Pesach Oil Moed, whereas Rav Shimon Shazuri says it needs to be Pesach Oil Moed Dafka, but he limits it to a Nazir, not to a Nazira, because of tznius concerns. What does he do with his hair? Right? Ideally, he would take his locks of hair, and throw it into the fire, burning beneath the pot in which the basar shlamim was cooking. But according to Tanakama, this only applies by a Nazir who in fact cuts his hair at the location of the shlamim. Suppose he shaved outside of Yerushalayim, at a distance. There was no chiyuv for him. He would not bring his hair and send it, put it under the shlamim, and this corresponds with the Gemara before. It's a two-step process. If it requires delivery and transportation, this din would not apply. Now we know that a Nazir Toher would do Tiglachas, and as we said, the Sa'ar ideally would go Tachas Adud. A Nazir Tummy as well would do Tiglachas. What about his hair? Would his hair also end up underneath, his carbon? He would bring an asham or whatever, which was cooked as well. Was there a din to have his hair delivered right there? Says the Mishnah, no. Bamed v'mamurun, when do we apply this halacha of hair being used as fuel for the fire beneath the carbon? B'teglachas tahara, only as your standard Nazir. Ava b'teglachas tuma, but if he was a Nazir tama, he would shave his hair at that point. No, lo yoy megaleach mishalech tachsadud. This halacha would not apply. Rabbi Yehuda, he disagrees. Hakoil mishalchan tachsadud. In all cases, the hair would end up beneath that pot, except for one situation. Chutz min atame sheba medina b'lvad. Except when there are two deficiencies. Number one, he's another Tomei who did teglachas. Number two, it's far away. So, A, he can't really approach the Beis HaMikdash, and B, his hair is far away. So there's sort of two deficiencies here. So explain the Mefarshim. So he's sort of twice removed from the scene, in which case we say that this din does not apply. So again, according to Tanakama, it's only something that applies to a Nazir Torah, and that's it. According to Rameir, even a Nazir Tameh, if he's close by, if he's doing Giluach in the city of Yerushalayim, then the din would apply there as well. But if he's Tameh plus, his hair is at a distance, is far away, this din would not apply. Okay, says the Gemara, Noitel Saresh, in Israel, he would take his hair and burn it beneath his carbon shlamim. Tana Rabbanan. V'achar kach noitel esa reitev. After the Nazir would shave, they would take some of the juice from that pot in which the shlamim, basar shlamim was cooking. V'noisen al aser reish Israel. He would sprinkle some of it onto the hair which he had shaved off his head, and then he would take that bundle, toss it beneath the pot, and use it as fuel. If instead of throwing it beneath the shlamim, toss it beneath the pot cooking the chatas or the asham, that's also fine. He's also yaitze. Asks the Gemara, 1 second. Another tar we're speaking about. So he has an oila, chatas, and shlamim. Okay, so it could be either shlamim or chatas. But you mentioned asham, a carbon asham, benazir tar mi'ika. Since when does another tar bring a carbon asham? Amarava, you're right. We're speaking about another tamei. Hachik amar. The brisa means im nazir tamei. If in fact he's another tamei who does giluach, in this case, mishalech tasadut shel asham yatsa. If he throws it beneath the asham, he's yaitz. And according to some Mefarshim, it means even l'chatchila, but he's just using a lashon yatsa, but the eved. That's the way the asham, the Nazir Tamei would do it. Minahan. So how do we know that in fact this was the process? Let's go back to the Nazir Tar. So he has the shlamim cooking, he would take some of the reitev, sprinkle onto his hair, and then throw it underneath the pot. How do we know? Amarava, Amakra. The pasuk says like this. The Nazir shaves his hair off. And then it says, V'lokach as sar reish Israel. You'd grab his hair, V'nasan ala ish, place it on the fire. Asher tachas zevach hashlamim. So let's keep these words in mind. Asher tachas zevach hashlamim. It says shlamim. Why add the word zevach? We know that a shlamim is a carbon, right? Asher tachas zevach hashlamim, says the Gemara, we learn from here, mizivchay. Take some of the zevach materials, take some of the broth. Yehei tachtav. Some of the roitev should go beneath the pot. It should go onto the hair, which is tossed beneath the pot. Now the brisa continued. L'chatchila, it goes beneath the shlamim, but v'mshilach tachas hadud shel chatas. So we used to cook up the chatas. Yatsa, it's also fine. My time, and why do you say that? How do you know? The pasuk says shlamim. Who says chatas works? Amarkad, the pasuk says zevach. It says zevach hashlamim. The word zevach is inclusive. L'rabbi says chatas. V'asham includes the chatas and the asham as well. That's by the the Nazir Tamei. Asks the Gemara, what do you mean? The word zevach has already been used for the reitev a minute ago. Va'afikte lahid zevach mi reitev. Right? You have used the word zevach for the reitev. Im came because if it's only teaching us one, lemakra mi reitev ashlamim. If it's only for the reitev, it would say it outright. Mi reitev ashlamim. My zevach. Why does it change it to zevach? Sort of an ambiguous term. Shmamina l'rabbi is chatas v'asham. It's coming to teach you both things. That, in fact, you can use it as firewood for the chatas v'asham as well, which is called zevach. Just, another carbon. So maybe it's only coming to teach you that. How do you know about the Reitiv? Imkain, because if it's only for that, Leima Shlamim V'Zevach would say, place it beneath the Shlamim V'Zevach. So you have a choice, either the Shlamim L'Chatchila or B'Diavad Chatos V'Asham. Why does it switch it to Zevach HaShlamim? My Zevach HaShlamim, Shlamim Otarti. Both halachas are included in this term. Number one, they can either be lying beneath the Shlamim or beneath the other Zevachim. And the fact that it put Zevach before Shlamim, because really Shlamim is first option. Why does it have Zevach before Shlamim? May Zevach. Take from the Shlamim, from the Reitiv, that's an ingredient underneath the pot. The Reitiv goes into the hair, thrown into the fire beneath the pot. Okay, back to the question mentioned in the Mishnah. Does another tummy go through this process as well? Does his hair end up underneath the carbon? Tanarabban. In all situations, whether he's another tar or another tummy, the hair would end up beneath the pot. Except for a situation where there are two deficiencies. Number one, he's another tummy. Number two, he's doing it far away, outside Yerushalayim. In that case, you bury the hair. This halacha is specific to another tar. That's it. Tohirim kan v'kana yimashalchen. If he's another tar, whether he's shaved in Yerushalayim or outside, send the hair to the fire. Tumei, but if he's another tamei, it doesn't apply. Kan v'kana, whether he took his hair off in Yerushalayim or out, lo yehoyu mashalchen, there would be no din of shiluach. V'chacham oimrim. It's a third shita. Hakoil lo yehoyu mashalchen tachas. In all cases, you do not apply this process except for one situation. Chutz min tar shebemigdash. He's a Nazir tar. Plus, he did his haircut in Yerushalayim. In this case, this is the ideal way of doing it. This is the proper way of doing it. In this case, the mitzvah is completely fulfilled, properly fulfilled. And in this case, in fact, the mitzvah of burning his seyar would apply. So basically, we have three shittas regarding shiluach seyar tachas hadud, which ideally works with the shlamim, but the avid with the chatas or the asham. That's in the Nazir tar not tummy situation. Now, who would do this? We have three shittas. Some say only a Nazir tar, but not Nazir tummy. Some say Nazir tar only. He's doing his haircut in Yerushalayim, and according to Rabbi Meir, in all cases you do it except when there are two problems: a Nazir tamei plus he's outside Yerushalayim. So the bottom line is, we have the tiglachas hatahara, which takes place together with the karbanis, according to the shitas Tanakama, shitas Rabbi Yehuda, and many in the Gemara. It goes together with the karban shlamim. So after the karban shlamim, that's when you do the tiglachas according to Rabbi Lezer with the karban chatas, because that's the first one on the list. But the Eved is megalech together with any carbon, it works. Where is the gluach taking place? Ideally, according to Rishim Shazari, Pesach Ha'il Moed, but according to other shittas, there's no specific location. The Lashon Pesach Ha'il Moed is simply indicating that it's together with the carbon shlamim, which is associated with the Lashon of Pesach Ha'il Moed. Then we have the halacha that you would take the seyar, sprinkle it with some roitev of the carbon, and be mishaleach tachas hadud. All the best to you, B'suras Toivos, and Hatzlacha Rabbah.